welcome to the second episode of the Student Ramble. My name is Leah, and today I'm joined with Millie and Phoebe, and we're going to be talking about our experience of Freshers Week and just generally drinking experiences at university. So, yeah, hello guys.
Hello.
Hello.
To get things started, I am a drinker. I drink a healthy amount. And I enjoy clubbing, I enjoy going out, house parties, all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, that's like kind of my stance on it.
I am sort of the complete opposite of the spectrum on that. I don't drink at all, don't go out loads, it's just not really my scene. So yeah, I don't drink anything.
And I'm kind of in the middle. Like, I'm a drinker. I don't drink loads, but like every so often I'll fancy a drink. But I dislike going out a lot. Like, big crowds are not my thing. So
You just don't like people.
Honestly, who does? Like,
I have an extreme fear of large crowds.
So I mean, like,
which is something we can get into in a different podcast. But
yeah. like between us, we've got like a kind of a good mix, which I think's nice, because I don't know about you lot, but when I was like looking at coming to university, I wanted to find out what Freshers Week was like, but it was all very much, this is like, you're going to drink for 2 weeks straight. And it's like, I don't want to.
yeah.
Like, I like drinking, I like going out, I like clubbing, but I also get tired. I would quite like to just stay in bed some days.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I think we should probably also explain how we guys met.
Oh,
We didn't
yeah.
explain that in the last podcast.
Oh yeah, so we all lived together in first year.
Yeah, we were in the same flat.
We didn't know. So what happened was I can't remember when we got the email or whatever it was saying,
it was like
what
2 weeks
flat
before we
were in.
moved
Early
in, wasn't
September.
it?
Like early September.
Yeah. So then basically we just went on like the university accommodation page, was like, who's in this flat? And I think it was us three who met first.
Yeah.
And then we met Lara.
And then we got Lara in.
And then
we
found...
got. I think we got the other. I think we
we
found
found one
like
other.
2 of the other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we found one other person, and then we had 3 blank spots that were filled. But we just didn't meet them online.
Yeah. So, and then obviously we moved in, and I mean we had a nice first night where we like kind of were all playing games. I remember playing Uno.
That first night.
That was.
It was a good night.
It was really
I was
funny.
like, well,
it was
chuffed.
good.
I really
I
enjoyed
was like,
it.
oh my god, I've struck gold. These people are
'Cause
great.
I can't remember what day we moved in.
It was a Friday.
Because I think
it was a Friday
yes,
night.
because there wasn't anything going on in terms of Freshers Week until the Sunday. Because I remember when we moved in that, like, so Millie, you were opposite from me, and I just remember like unpacking all my stuff, and then you and like your parents were like in your room, and I was just like, oh hello, and then you're like, I think it was your dad.
My dad
gave me like a doorstop.
Yeah.
Because my little walrus doorstop wasn't heavy enough for the fire doors. I still got him. He's in my room still.
Big thing if you go to uni, those like stuffed animal doorstops will not hold open your room door.
But they're really nice decorations, so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, get like one of the rubber doorstops because they're all fire doors.
They are heavy doors. Yeah.
They are heavy. So yeah, in terms of so Freshers Week started on the Sunday, right?
Yeah. Well, it's.
I mean,
yeah.
did you guys get the wristbands?
Yes, we did.
Because there were 2 wristbands. There was one for the actual university, like student union, and then there was one for like the actual area, like all the clubs in town.
Yeah.
So I got both of them. Did I get both? Yeah, I got both of them. And I actually ended up going to a lot more of the student union ones, because the student union was for 1 week, and the club ones was for 2 weeks. But that was like, the way that they did the club ones were, you were kind of separated into your halls. So, for example, it was like, the halls that we were in with another halls would go to a particular club for a particular theme on one night. And different clubs would have different themes on different nights, and it would just depend what halls you were in as to what you experienced that night and where you were, which is all to do with capacity. But I just tend to stick to student union.
We should also probably say, our university accommodation, there's a lot of accommodation blocks.
Oh yeah.
And there was a lot of clubs in town, so that's how they did it.
Yeah, so I mean, I think there's like 10 at least. So they basically just split us into
Yeah.
10,
yeah, they split us into loads of groups. So there was
So I know some universities have like 2 blocks, but no, we have a lot.
Yeah.
We're quite a big uni. So yeah, I mean, I went to mainly the student union ones because for the first week you're at uni, you don't have anything in your timetable. You don't have you maybe have like an introductory lecture to your course, but you don't have any actual like content.
Term doesn't
Yeah,
start
it's like
until
a
the
true
week after.
freshers
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, I just saw it as an excuse to be like, right, this is the week where I've heard so much about it. I have to like go out, go drinking, you know, make the most of it because otherwise that's when, you know, the fun stops and the work starts. I think I only went out maybe like 4 times during the week, during that first week, just purely because like it's tiring, you know, you're up stupid hours. I mean, our student union is quite good because it closes at 2. I think most do, but like compared to, for example, like clubs that close at like 4 in the morning, it was quite nice because then also you had like maybe a 5-minute walk back to the flat.
Yeah, exactly. We were so like in the
Yeah.
middle of campus, so we didn't have far to go.
Yeah, so like so the way that I'm just going to mainly speak about the student union one because obviously the clubs one will just vary wherever you are, but for the student union one, so on the Sunday there were 2 main events, one in town, one in student union. I went to the one in student union, which I had so much fun because I went with one of my friends on my course and then like a couple of their flatmates because I knew that you two weren't really up for like going out clubbing. And I think Lara was busy. I think she was going out with the other people in our flat.
Yeah.
So I just went out with them.
I remember that Sunday being a big turning point for
Oh
me.
yeah, I feel like we truly bonded that night.
So as we said, we moved in on the Friday, and the Saturday everyone was like, "I'm going out drinking," and Millie was going to like.
I went to like a mocktail event.
night.
Yeah.
With people on her course, and I was like, oh, I guess I have to go out drinking, which is something, you know, my friends from home and me, we never really went out and just like sat around and drank. Like, it isn't something that we do. It still isn't really something we do. Not because we're against drinking, it's just not how our friendship works.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's like not the
You know,
dynamic.
we are, yeah, like we have drinks together, but we're not like, let's go and just get drunk for the sake of getting drunk, you know? And so I remember that Saturday night, I felt so awkward because I was like, I don't know any of these people. My personality does not fit in.
Where did you even go out?
It was with the other flat, wasn't it?
So it was with a few people in our flat.
Oh,
and then the
yeah,
flat
I
opposite
remember.
us. And we went to a bar near our flat. And I remember just sitting there and thinking, I don't want to be here. Like, this is not what I want to do. And like I sat there for like a couple hours. I think it was like 11, and I was like, I'm gonna go back to the flat because I don't want to be here, because I just didn't feel like I fitted in. And I remember the next morning, so the Sunday morning, me and Millie were like, oh, we're gonna go to like a little shop we have on campus, and we were both trying to get out of each.
We were
other,
both trying to like tease it out
night.
that the other didn't want to go, so we were like, do you think you're gonna go to Union tonight? Oh, like, I don't know, maybe, are you? Like, and then we were both just like, do you know what? Let's stay at the flat together. Solidarity, you know?
We like stayed in and like cooked dinner.
I think I remember I think we were all in the kitchen and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going out to like the event tonight in Union. Like, I'm really excited. I remember like I was just so up for it. And I was like, oh, are you guys coming? And then you were like, no, we're going to stay in. I think, did you watch High School Musical or something?
I don't know. I don't think we did, but...
We cooked dinner together.
Or was it Strictly Come Dancing? You did that quite a lot.
We cooked dinner together and we watched the Strictly Results show, I think. And then we like, went
That's
to bed.
it.
Absolutely lit.
So yeah.
And that was like lovely. Yeah.
It was weird though because like for my friends back home, so basically I've got a group of friends who live around the area, so I've kind of since I turned sort of 18 I was coming out around the area like for drinking and clubbing anyway, so I kind of knew the area, but obviously it's a bit different to a university club. And I just remember like, oh, this is weird because I'm so surrounded by people who drink or like people who were just so up for drinking, on like, you know, oh, let's go out for cocktails, or let's, you know, have a house party or whatever. So when you guys were like, nah, I don't really feel like it, that was like almost alien to me. I mean, I didn't really care at the end of the day. I was like, okay, right, I'll see you at breakfast when I'm really hungover. But it was just, I don't know. It was kind of a new experience for me, like kind of having to navigate this sort of new dynamic where it's like, oh, okay, these people don't want to drink, and that was almost weird for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know from what I can remember that me and Millie had a few, not comments, but I know there were some kind of suggestions made that like we were not acting like students because we weren't like out drinking every night. You know? I don't know if you remember them.
Sort of. Yeah, and I think that was something that I was so worried about coming to uni, because obviously like when you're applying to uni, sort of the whole narrative around going to uni is that like you're going to get drunk, you're going to go out every night and all of that. And I was like, I don't want to do that. Like, am I not going to have any friends? Am I going to have to do that in order to make friends and meet new people? And so like I was purely terrified about like I'm never going to find anyone like me. And yeah, it was quite scary coming into a situation where I was like, are people going to want me to drink, etc. But like actually realizing, oh, like not everyone drinks, and just because I don't drink doesn't mean that I'm boring or no fun or whatever. The reason I don't drink is because I have tried some alcohols and I just don't like the way that they taste. It's not a moral choice or like, yeah, I don't have anything against people who drink. I just don't like the taste of it, and therefore I don't do it. And so, yeah, for me, it was just like realizing that, okay, there are people like me. I'm not a weirdo. That was a big turning point coming to uni.
Definitely. And I think kind of building on that, there is a massive sort of expectation to kind of throw yourself full on into drinking and going to pubs and clubs, and where, you know, that's not all it's about, because, you know, it's very hard to kind of meet new people and kind of get to know someone when there's music blasting in your ears. So I think, I mean, what sort of, because obviously I kind of went out clubbing during Freshers Week, but like what did you actually get up, like were you able to find events which were kind of catered more towards not drinking?
Yeah, so I think our uni definitely were quite good at putting on events that were like sober events. So either alcohol wasn't served or like there was an option. So they did quite a few. Like I said, they had the mocktail night. They had a few like film nights, game nights, that kind of thing. And then there's also stuff going on in the day. Like there were quite a few like course events, as well as like barbecues outside and stuff like that, where you're able to go. So I messaged a few people that I knew were on my course and would be like, this event is going on today, do you want to go and grab pizza in the quad? Like, so there are other ways to meet people where you haven't got to be up until the early hours of the morning and slaughtered, basically.
And I think also, like, we went to, we had like a freshers ball, which was really like a club night in Union.
Oh my god! I don't want to think about that freshers ball.
Yeah.
So yeah, me and Millie did go to that.
We buddied up.
I think I had maybe one or two drinks.
I got a free cup of water. It was great.
Oh, I bumped into you lot whilst I was there. Oh god.
Yeah, I'm surprised you remember it, because I don't think you were fully there.
Well, so what happened? So for the freshers ball, there was the actual sort of general music and everything inside. And outside, they'd done a carnival.
A fun fair.
Yeah. So what happened was, I didn't actually drink anything before, because I knew that there was going to be a carnival, and I was like, alcohol and rides aren't a good mix.
Oh, no.
So I think I might have had maybe one, and it was a very weak one before we went. Or before, like, I went with the group that I was with. And we get there and we're like, right, let's go straight to the fun fair. Went straight to the fun fair, and it's all spinning rides.
Yeah, they were.
Which I don't know who coordinated that, but if people are drinking, the last thing I want to be doing is spinning around.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I went on the rides like 4 times. And I genuinely got off the rides. We went inside. It was obviously, it's a club, like it's really warm in there. And I start to feel really unwell. So I had to say to my friends, I was like, I'm going to have to go home. I feel so like motion sick. And funnily enough, one of the other girls in the group, she also had to go home because she wasn't feeling great after the rides. So I actually missed the headline. So we had Sigma at our Freshers' Ball as like the headline DJ. And I missed it. And I'm really gutted I missed it because I got so motion sick I had to go home at, I think it was about 11:30, 12ish.
Yeah, because Sigma came on at midnight.
Yeah, so I think I'd literally just missed it. And I remember I was leaving and the bouncer was like, if you leave, you can't come back in. I was like, yeah, I know. And then I went home and no one was home. And I was like, okay, well, I do kind of regret going on the rides, but they were also really fun at the same time. So hopefully we'll eventually get like a summer ball.
Hopefully.
Oh my god. At one point. But I do remember, like, we went home, Millie, at probably like half midnight.
Yeah, I feel like it was like 1ish.
Yeah. So
I can't believe you stayed out longer than me.
I know, proud of that.
I know.
I think a big thing about clubbing is people think you have to stay out till the club closes. But like, you could go home whenever you want.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. So every time we went drinking or like clubbing in our union, I would normally, so we would go out at about, so we'd have like prees at someone's flat at like 9, and then we would go out to the union at about 10:30. And then
union opens at 10.
Yeah, and so basically what I normally do is I'll drink at prees, I'll drink, and then I'll get to the club and then I just kind of stop drinking. Or I'll just have like a couple of shots. I won't ever drink long drinks because I've had like friends who have been spiked and I just tend to avoid it, so I just stick with shots because, you have it at the bar and you go. And then I think we got to most of the time we just get to union and I just don't feel like drinking by that point. I'll have like a couple of shots maybe when we get there. But then I'm just so like warm and then the alcohol's slowly wearing off as I'm like dancing. And then it'll be about 1 o'clock and I'm just tired. And I'm like, I just look at my friends and I'm like, I'm going to go home now. And they almost, I think, they normally think it's because I just don't want to hang out with them anymore. And it's like, no, I'm ready for bed. Like, we've got a 9 a.m.
Yeah, I think also, Leah, Leah has a very strong character. So she won't take no for an answer. If she wants to do something, she's doing it.
Yeah.
Which I think is something me and Millie, like, if we're out, we kind of, like, have to eke each other out of saying, like, we want to go now. I'm not the type of person who can, if I'm out with someone, to just be like, I'm going home now. I want to go.
Yeah.
Like, I'm such a people pleaser.
But I think that was, so obviously, like, when we went to that Freshers event, me and Phoebe, we sort of buddied up and we were both like, if at any point one of us has had enough and we want to go, just say and we'll both go. Like, that's it. And I think that's why we both felt comfortable enough to go, because we were like, okay, even if we end up with other people and they want to stay, we'll stick together. And I think that helped us. It did me anyway.
Yeah. Always buddied up with someone though. Always.
Like, when it comes to going out drinking, so every time I would go out drinking with my friends, I've always been very much the case of, like, if I know, like, I know myself very well to the point that if I know that I'm feeling a bit sick, or if I'm tired, or if I'm hungry, the amount of times I've left a club because I'm hungry is unreal. It's normally not even because I'm tired, it's like, no, I need food.
That has just reminded me of the time that Phoebe made you those pizza things.
Oh, don't.
That's what I was thinking.
No, that was the time that
Can we tell this story?
Absolutely. I'll elaborate. So what happened was, I went, so my friend was back from her uni, and she was in the area, so we were like, right, we haven't seen each other in a while, let's go out for cocktails. So we went to cocktails at Rev's Cocktails. If you've never had Rev's Cocktails, you'll know that they do, you might not know that they do 2-for-1 cocktails. So you normally just get 2 at a time.
Can we preface the time that you went out though?
It was 3 in the afternoon. and I can't remember what day it was as well. I think it was
It was a Thursday. It was a Thursday.
No, it was a Wednesday.
It was a
because
Wednesday
I was
night,
supposed to be
because it
going
was
to
Union night.
I was supposed to be going to Union that night, and I bought a ticket. And this is like me, assuming that I would be going out at 10 p.m. at night. What happened was, it's 3 in the afternoon. We're at Revs, and it's just me and my friend, and we are slaughtered. We drink so much. We're having such a good time, because what happened was, because you're sat down when you're drinking cocktails, you drink more and then you stand up and it all hits you at once. You're like, oh no. And I get back to the flat at 4:30.
At 9 p.m.
No.
No, you get back to the flat at...
Oh no, it was
No,
8. It was about 8ish.
Yeah, you got back at 8 or 9.
Yeah, so it was about 8ish, and I get back and I'm battered. I fall in the flat door. And
Yeah,
I think
I heard
I
that.
try to I go into my room, and then Millie and Phoebe are like, I think you're in the kitchen or something. I can't remember
Yeah,
where you
we
were.
were.
And then I come stumbling into the kitchen. You guys are like, are you okay? And I was just like, yep. And then I just kind of slump onto a chair, and then you're having to make sure I don't fall off of the chair, and I'm just I'm really hungry. Phoebe just goes mum mode. What have you got in the freezer? And I'm like, I've got pizza subs, which is literally just these little baguettes with which are just pizzas. And she's like, right, do you want those? And I was like, yeah. So she makes them for me, and then I eat them, and then you know what? All right, I've got about an hour before I've got to go to Union. I messaged my friend saying I'll meet you at Union, because I was like, obviously I've already done the prees part. But I go into my room, and I'm just like, oh, I'm a little bit tired. I'll just I'll have a bit of a lay down just before I go out. I'll set an alarm, good to go. What happened was I slept through that alarm, and I wake up at 11:30 at night in a full face of makeup, still in my clothes, and my phone has just exploded with messages saying, are you coming out? Where are you? Did you get lost? Are you okay? And what happened was I slept through to basically missing Union, and I'd already bought tickets, so I was gutted. And strangely enough, I wasn't hungover the next day, so that's a win in my opinion.
Impressive, yeah.
Yeah, no, because I made you chug
Yeah,
3
Phoebe was
glasses
just
of water
piling on the
before you went to
water.
bed.
Yeah. Since then, to be honest, I think I've just always been very, not even chaotic, but just, if I'm drunk, I'm just very much okay, go A to B at the fastest pace possible.
She
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. That's the main takeaway.
That's accurate, yeah.
But I think that's what's I do like clubbing and stuff, but sometimes just having cocktails with friends is just really nice. Which is why I like that they do cocktail nights at uni.
Yeah, that's the kind of drinking I prefer. I'm not a big... if I'm wanting to drink with my friends, I far prefer, let's go to a pub and just, sit down and, have a chat. You know, I'm not one for going out clubbing, mainly because the few times I have been out clubbing, I haven't really had good experiences. I've always been, felt up or something.
Yeah.
Which is, sadly, an experience a lot of women have. I know we've all had that. We've all had some bad experiences. So, personally, I don't feel comfortable with that going on. So I tend to avoid it. Partly because of, the unwanted touching, but also partly because I just don't like crowds.
Yeah, and to be honest, so for me, when I go out, I normally go out in big groups. It's very rare that it will just be me and one other person. So I always find that it's quite nice to kind of create not a barrier, but you kind of have your own section of the dance floor where it's just you and your friends, because then you can keep an eye on what's going on and whatever. But also, I think I've just gotten to the point now where if someone does it, then I just realise that they're just, not very compos mentis and just should not be safe around other people. But then I just kind of move on. I'm not going to let it ruin my night, because that's just, it's not what you want. If I'm going out, I want to enjoy myself, and yeah.
Yeah, I think it's one of those kind of sad realities of, a lot of, at least I can only speak on the perspective of a woman. I don't know what guys go through, or, people of other genders, I don't know what they go through, but as a woman I quite often feel very uncomfortable with, you know, large crowds because of those kind of things happening. Like I'm gonna be honest, had my butt grabbed by someone who I don't even know what they look like. I've been grinded on.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate that. Please don't do that to me. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
And I think that's where it kind of, it's very important to find a group of people who you feel safe going out with. Because, like, for example, for me, I enjoy going out, but that's very much because I enjoy spending time with the people I'm going out with. And I feel safe around them, and I know that they will get me home. So, for example, if I go out with my group of friends outside of uni, I always know that even though they don't live anywhere near me, there will at least be one of them who is like, okay, we'll do like a whip round with a taxi, so like, you know, we'll go to your flat first to drop you off and we'll make sure you get home safe and then we'll go home. And I think that's where it's really important to find the people that you're kind of on the same page with, which I think is nice how, you know, you guys were put in the same flat, because I think it made it a bit easier for you two to find someone who didn't want to go out clubbing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I think, did you guys go to the jazz night?
I think we were going to, but then we decided we wanted to
We
stay
probably
in
ordered a
instead.
takeaway
Very
or
tired.
something.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
blame you.
Me and Millie get tired very, very quickly. So we, quite often, if we plan to go out and we haven't bought a ticket for
It's
it,
not happening.
we probably won't. We probably won't go.
Yeah, you've got to commit at least like 3 days before, and then it's got to be like, okay, an hour before we still go.
Yeah.
Don't really feel like
I'm a
it.
planner, so I have to know that something's coming. If you spring something on me at the last minute, it's not going to happen.
Which I think is a big takeaway from Freshers Week. You need to find your people, and you need to find someone. Like, even though like we haven't known each other very long, you know, we've been friends for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Like within like the first few days,
We were.
I knew I could, like, we found our group, which I think is something that Freshers Week is important to do.
I think it's very important to not close yourself off to only people who drink. So, for example, like, you know, we're all friends, but, you know, if we were going to hang out, I wouldn't be like, oh, let's go clubbing to this place, you know. It's all about, you know, being open to different things, you know. So, for example, you know, we would just sit in someone's room, we'd watch a film, or we went to, I think, were they showing like Shrek one night in for Freshers Week?
Yeah,
So we went to go watch that. We did leave because it was awful.
We were sat on like rock hard chairs.
it was like a
Like,
desk.
right
It
at
was
the
it was like a
side.
school assembly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so
literally.
we watched, you know, the iconic start of the film, and then we were all like, should we go?
We listened to All Star, and then we were like, right, I've had enough of this.
We're done,
And we went.
yeah. And so
I think we went to Co-op on the way
yeah.
back, got some chocolate, and then we were
Almost
back home
definitely,
again.
that is what happened.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. There's little things which are just fun to do, even though it's not drinking. Like, you know, the amount of times we would just we went for a walk. I think it was like it was like maybe the day before, like the university got closed.
Yeah,
in March.
it was the Sunday.
And that was really, yeah, it was like a sunset. It was really cute. It was lovely, and I think just like the amount of times that I know it's like lockdown and we can't really do much at the moment, but just something like, you know, going out for a walk with a friend is really nice, and just there's other things you can do which, you know, don't involve drinking that is still really fun and really nice to do.
Definitely.
But I think being friends with people who have, you know, different interests to you kind of opens your mind up to things. You're like, oh, I never thought I'd be doing this.
Oh,
You know?
massively.
So, like, before coming to uni, I was like, I'm never going to go clubbing. But, like, I've been, like, to Union, which is, like, a club, like, a couple times.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, I did enjoy it, you know. I'm not going to say my experiences are horrendous in club, blah, blah, blah. No, I enjoyed myself, like, all the time.
They are what you make of it, to an extent.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think also, you know, like, Leah, you've probably had some experiences with us that you were like, I never thought I'd have this at uni.
Oh,
You know?
massively. You know, it's just little things like, you know, I never thought I would have so much fun just cooking in the kitchen and having High School Musical music in the background.
Classic.
Or, like, you know, I don't know, it's just little things like, you know, wobbling up the corridor, knocking on someone's door and be like, do you want to go to Co-op at like 9
The
p.m. at
amount
night?
of co-op trips that we would do.
Leah, do you remember one co-op trip we did? Where I was a bit gone.
Oh god,
Okay.
I do remember that.
So occasionally, I would video call my friends and we'd drink on like Skype and stuff. So I
You were
remember-
doing like Zoom drinking games before they were
I
a
know.
thing.
We're trendsetters. What can I say?
I know.
So yeah, I was probably about like 3/4 of the way through a bottle of wine by myself, and we'd like hung up our call. So it was probably like 8:45, and Leah knocked on my door and went, "Hey, do you want to come to co-op?" And I was like, "Leah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not here. Like I may be."
And
here,
I was
but I'm
like,
not
the
here."
fresh air will be fine. The fresh air will do you good.
So we stumbled down to co-op and like bought,
No,
like-
you stumbled down to co-op.
Okay, you dragged me, so you
Yeah.
stumbled too.
Very true.
And what did we even buy? Like
I don't know.
a Snapple, like some cookies. Then came
Yeah,
back to the
just
flat.
the standard like,
Just snacks.
just not feeling great, just want loads of sugar.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think so for me when it came to like before I came to uni, I kind of wanted to throw myself into drinking, and I had so many expectations from my other friends being like, "Oh, you're gonna have a hangover for 2 weeks straight, and you're gonna be hungover in your lectures," and it got there, and I think it's so overhyped compared to what it is. Don't get me wrong, it's really fun, and I really enjoyed Freshers Week, but it's not really any different to a lot of normal club nights. I mean, there's obviously like a lot of themes that they do. Like I remember going out with Lara for an 80s night, and that was in town, and it was really fun. You know, everyone was like dressed up in like pure neon, had leg warmers on. It was really fun. But you can kind of do that with your general friendship groups anyway. I think so. Since the lockdown, the people that I live with now, we've kind of made a habit of every weekend we kind of make our own club night, as it were. So we just play a bunch of drinking games or whatever. But what we've recently done is we've had each person host a night. So for example, one night, one of the girls made it like an emo disco. So it was loads of like 2000s emo music, all that sort of stuff, like My Chemical Romance, all that sort of stuff. And we've had, you know, sports week. We've had, what do we have? We had Mods and Rock, like 60s night. This weekend, so the day that this is getting posted, it's my night to host, so I'm doing like a school disco theme. So
I've seen
think
the playlist for this night. It is amazing.
It is.
I know it's
It really
I
is.
pride myself on my playlists, like my 2000s playlists.
Maybe we should do a podcast about our Spotify playlists.
Oh my god, that would be just
Really out ourselves here.
chaotic. Jesus. So yeah, basically, you can have your own fun with your friends. You don't have to wait for like there to be an ABBA night in your local Lola Lows or whatever. You can do your own thing. And I think when you're in halls, so for us, halls was a bit not iffy, but
It was
it was a bit difficult because there were so many noise complaints that I think I had my non-uni friends round for maybe one pre's night, and that was at like 8 p.m. So we were gone by 9. And I was very much like, I messaged the entire flat. I was like, I'm just gonna have a couple of friends round for like an hour, like tops. We'll clean up and then we'll go. Because we knew that from previous experience with other people in the block, you just couldn't be loud. Like which I think that might have just come with the nature of the flat that we were in.
Yeah, so
Or at least the block that we were in.
our first year block was quieter living. So there's a curfew. There's like 10 till...
yeah.
Oh no, is it 10 till 6? That is
think
quiet
so.
hours. So yeah, there was
something
probably...
like that.
In our block was very small, so it was 8 flats. And it was quieter living. So noise complaints were very, very common. As soon as you could hear it from like another floor, someone was going to ring a noise complaint.
Yeah, even if it wasn't someone that you actually lived with, it would be like someone in a different building.
Yeah, it's very easy to tell what flat is making the noise. Mainly because A, the block was very small, and B, all the kitchens had these big wraparound windows, so you can see what's going on in each kitchen.
You could see like the disco lights from across the field.
Yeah, if there was like a lot of people in there, you could see. So
Yeah,
noise
so I think
complaints
that's
in our
where-
block were very common.
That's where when it came to like wanting to do stuff which wasn't like going out clubbing, you know, we were kind of limited with options. So for example, one thing that our university does, which I know that a lot of other unis do, but I don't think many people actually take advantage of it, is they do quiz nights every week. And I mean, you lot have heard me talk about quiz nights so many times.
I was going to say, we started going to them before lockdown started again.
Yeah, they were really like...
going.
Yeah, I think a quiz night is really nice because, so for us it was always like during the week, but it was never like, you were never going to get battered. I mean, if it happened, but for the most part you were kind of just going to hang out, like kind of have a casual drink, have a laugh whilst you're there, but you were also going to be finished at a decent time so you can kind of get some work done or whatever. And I think that was nice because you weren't, I don't think anyone ever felt forced to drink. The amount of times I went and I just didn't want to drink because I was like going home for that weekend or whatever.
Yeah, I always had lovely times when we went to quiz nights.
Mm.
Like, I really enjoyed myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, did you guys... Oh wait, I was going to say, did you guys go during, like when it opened over the summer? No. Well, I think, was it like September or something where it opened for a little while?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when we started going.
Oh, okay, yeah, so basically, so even during then, like, it was slightly different, but it was just, it's nice because, you know, that was the one day a week where even if people didn't come out clubbing at the weekend or to like our midweek union, you kind of knew that everyone was kind of normally going to be up for a quiz night. You'd just be like, okay, right, quiz night Thursday, who's in? Most of the group would be like, yep, gonna be there, and then we'll actually get to have a nice catch up whilst we're there. It would be like someone would just come from the library and be like, you going back after this? And be like, yeah. So they'll have a couple of pints and then go back to the library to carry on with their work.
So I think if you're like me and you're not a huge fan of drinking in like really big crowds, or if you're like Millie and not a drinker, or even if you're like Leah and love drinking, there's always options for you for events where you will feel comfortable. There are so many options. You just need to look at your Students' Union website or your uni's website. There will be an event for you.
Yeah, but also, like, don't feel like you have to stick to one box. Like, for example, for me, as someone who likes drinking, don't feel like you have to go to all the clubbing events because, you know, some of them you'll find are more fun than others. But also, like, even the non-drinking events, they were still really fun for me. Like, okay, yeah, we didn't stay for very long for the film night that was run, but, I mean, it was still, it's, like, quite a nice anecdote, and, you know, it was fun whilst we were there. You know, they did like mocktail nights, they did jazz and cocktails.
It was just nights.
Yeah, that was fun. Actually, no, I don't think I went to those ones. That one specifically.
I remember me and Millie went to one and played Connect 4 for an hour.
An hour? How do you stay focused for an hour?
Well, the game, it wasn't
like
one
maybe
game,
two
it was
games.
more than one
No,
game.
we played lots of games, but it was
no,
just
but was it
Connect
like the
4.
little, was it the small Connect 4 or was it like, you know,
Yes.
the giant Connect 4 you
No,
used to
it
have in
was
like
a
primary
No, it was like the
school?
tabletop one, yeah.
Oh,
we played
no,
that for an hour.
My god, no, the giant Connect 4 that was great in primary school. I don't know if you lot had, did you guys have those in primary school?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Oh, that was, yeah, no, I couldn't play it for an hour though.
I don't think we did it out of choice. I think everyone was
think we were
too scared
shy
to
to
like
speak
give up
to
their game.
anyone else.
Like, so like everyone stuck to the same game for like an hour, and then me and Phoebe were like, we should probably go now.
We were like, we're gonna go home now.
See, that's a bit different if you're playing something like Battleships or, you know, something which is a bit longer than Connect 4.
Yeah.
But we got a funny story out of it though.
Well, that is very true.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, I mean, for you two, like, as people who don't really enjoy clubbing, and Millie, someone who don't like drinking, what are, like, some of the best events that you've been to that, like, from Freshers' Week or just generally during the university time so far?
I'm trying to
I
think.
loved the Christmas fair. I loved it.
That was so sick.
I love it. So, at our uni, there's this
Oh,
huge thing
the
at
lights
Christmas.
turning. Oh my god.
Yeah,
The
so
light
they
turning.
decorate. They decorate one of the big trees on campus with fairy lights and do like a big turn on. And there were like reindeer there. You could go and meet the reindeer, and I pet one, and it was my favourite thing ever. And we tried to find Father Christmas, but we couldn't find him anywhere.
Oh, we couldn't, could we?
So we did that, and then we went to Co-op and bought pasta and then
Garlic bread.
Had a little date night. It was
Yeah,
lovely.
we did.
Yeah, I completely forgot that was a thing. I remember for that night there was cables everywhere because obviously they've strung up this entire tree and we're just trying to not trip over it.
Huge, yeah.
It's huge. It's the height of a building easily.
I think it's the height of our library, and our library is like 6 floors.
Yeah, it's huge. And they had carol singers, and then I remember they were trying to work out how to switch on the lights, and everyone was just staring at this tree, and they were like 3, 2, 1, and then it didn't go on immediately. It was like a 10-second delay.
Yeah.
So everyone's just stood there in
waiting.
It's December. Oh, no, it was like November. We were very cold.
It was cold.
And we're just staring at this tree.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was
that
very
was
fun.
good. Stuff like that is good.
Some of my favourite things to do, so me, Millie and Laura, so we lived together this year, and we also did this last year, we did a lot of baking. Like once a week now. Well, when we're not.
When we live together.
Yeah, so I'm currently back at halls and Millie is still at home, which is very sad.
We're separated.
But we bake like once a week, and by bake I mean like you get like a box mix.
Yeah,
but
we're not
still,
doing stuff from scratch here. But it was like our little thing in an evening, and the conversations we'd have while baking.
We've had some wacko conversations. Do you remember?
Do you remember when the police out?
I was just about to say that. We were making cookies. That was a mad night.
Should we say the conversation we were having?
I mean, you're gonna have to now.
I remember now. I'd forgotten the conversation, but I just remember.
So we were baking cookies. So the cookies we make literally take like 10 minutes to cook. We somehow got onto the conversation of, this is like a weird topic, I don't know how we got there.
I can't remember how we got there.
I literally can't remember, but if you could stab someone but in a non-violent way,
like non-aggressive.
Yeah.
And
like,
I was arguing that you
I don't think that's
could
possible.
Stab someone non-aggressively, because if you do it gently, surely that's
you do
not
it in a really
aggressive.
loving way. You're like, stab.
So we were having this conversation, sat at the kitchen table.
Oh yeah, and also our kitchen has a floor-to-ceiling window onto like the street.
Onto the road outside.
And we look out and there were just two... And we were midway through this conversation and we look out the window and there were 2 police officers just walking past and one of them just waved at us.
Oh my god.
And we were like,
I don't know if
they know. Like,
They know.
Were the windows open? I can't remember.
No, but they
I don't think
waved
you
and
can
we
open
were
those
like,
windows.
what? We were just so thrown off. And then we were like crying with laughter. And then
And
another
another
2
two.
came round. And they were like, are they okay? And we were like, we're fine.
Like we were crying laughing.
I think baking is one of those things though which, you know, it could be something very peaceful or very chaotic. So like since the lockdown, or even just slightly before, you know, me and my housemates, we would like this, you know, in the same way we would get a box mix, and we would be like, oh, do you want to make brownies? I'd be like, yeah, obviously I want to make brownies.
Oh.
And it just would get to the point, you know, you would make it and then they'd be done and they'd be cooling, and then you'd put a film on in the background, and rather than, you know, cutting them up or whatever, you just come in with a pan and 2 spoons and it's like, that is your evening sorted.
I was going to say, I don't think me and Millie have ever waited for anything that we've baked to cool down before we started eating it.
Because we're
we wait so it's, like,
absolute
not
savages. Like,
Like, it's out the oven, then we're like, okay, let's go. Like,
because we
get this
bake
out.
because we want to eat it. So the whole waiting thing for us is just not really...
The amount of times I've burnt my mouth on a baked
Yes,
good we've
Phoebe does
just
that
made,
often.
because I just can't wait. I'll just cram it in my mouth so quick. Excuse you. Like, it's horrendous.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other things which... One thing that we always talked about doing, but I don't think we ever did it, was we were going to make our own pizzas one night.
That is something post-lockdown we used to do.
Yeah. Probably using like a packet pizza dough mix, or just a pre-made pizza dough mix. But, you know, I think cooking is one of those things that you can do with friends that, like, you know, if you want to have a bottle of wine whilst you're doing it or whatever, then, you know, go for it. But you can also just kind of have a laugh with it. So what we would do, what I would do with my friends was we would put like a video on or a film or something on in the background. Like we used to watch My Strange Addiction whilst we were cooking. Honestly, TLC is like great for if you want to watch absolute car crash television.
Noted for future reference. I love me some car crash TV.
Yeah, if you were, My Strange Addiction. I don't know what else is like on
Toddlers
TLC.
and Tiaras.
Say Yes to the Dress.
God.
I know that's not TLC, but just generally Say Yes
No,
to the
I
Dress.
think that is TLC.
Is it?
I think so.
Oh, well, anyway, Say Yes to the Dress. That is
I love
what's
Say
that?
Yes to the Dress.
What's that like extreme coupon thing where it's like
extreme
South of
couponing.
America?
Yeah. Also,
That
extreme
blows my
cheapskates.
All of that stuff.
At uni,
All of
you
that.
meet
So you
people you can watch these things with.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
always going to be someone out there with your
There's like
interests.
3,000 people at a university like around that. Like they're massive.
Yeah.
There will be someone there. And even
Yeah.
even if not, there's ways that you can find your people. Like for example, there's normally some sort of buddy scheme. So for example, at Freshers Week there was the sport fair and the society fair. Like you can just join some societies. If you want to join a sport, join a sport. You don't have to. But also they do buddy schemes, so like you can basically get matched up with someone and you would go and try out these things together. It could even be the case that you get put in a group project for one of your courses and you actually get along really well with someone, or I don't know.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
loads of ways
there are
to
so
meet
many
people.
ways to meet people, yeah.
I think that's how I met one of my, like, apart from you guys, like, one of my closest friends here. We just happened to be on the same course.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my god, we clicked so well.
Mm.
And I'm very lucky that happened. But if that just shows that even if it's not someone in your flat, there is going to be someone that you're going to get along with out there.
Definitely. And like there's loads of different schemes. Like I think I have a weird feeling that even like my academic tutor at the beginning was like, if you ever struggle to make friends, let me know and I can pair you up with someone in the tutor group, or they'll like the tutors will always encourage that you make WhatsApp groups, or you kind of just try and talk to people on your course, because it makes your course a lot easier.
Yeah,
Like,
it does
there
help.
Will always be a group chat for your course. So what happened with my course was I was in the psychology group chat, and then there was like a group of us who were like, basically we all had Nintendo Switches and we all wanted to play together like during the lockdown. Like we all wanted to play Animal Crossing together. So we made a separate group chat with just the people who had the Nintendo Switches, and then we found that people were starting to make closer friendships within that group, because I think it's very difficult to make close friends if you're in a 200 person group chat.
I think that depends on the course as well. So the course I do, there's probably like 20 of us.
Yeah.
Like,
I think if you're in a massive
it's
group,
tiny.
try and branch off into like your modules or your specific interests. Like try and get into smaller groups if you can, because
My
it
biggest
just allows for
advice-
deeper connections.
My biggest advice for freshers is join the Facebook groups. I know Facebook is kind of like a dead social media now. I mean, I don't think it is, but I know it's dying out.
Yeah, but I
Get
think
on there.
like
I
going
think
into
since
uni,
coming to uni,
yeah.
it's been revived.
Yeah, get on, like, there's always gonna, like, type in like the uni you're going to, and then freshers, and then like your joining year. There is gonna be.
They normally
a group.
have official pages from the universities
Yeah.
that they like send to you.
I mean, that's how
especially
we
for
met, was
halls.
on a Facebook page.
Yeah.
Mad.
And think where we are now.
Look at us now.
Look at us now.
All grown up.
It's
Well,
crazy
I
to
wouldn't
think we
go
met
that
when we were like 18. It's mental.
Oh my god.
God.
That's crazy. And the
That
fact
is
that
pretty mad.
I'm turning 21 in September.
I know, mental.
How are we adults? How are we allowed to?
I don't want to think about it.
Yeah. No.
Let's not get into that story.
Oh god. So yeah, I mean, in terms, kind of trying to bring back the conversation a little bit. So in terms of drinking culture at uni, I do think there is a drinking culture, but I think it's gotten a lot better than it used to be. So for example, my cousins that went to university, it was very much drinking focused for them. Whereas I think for us, I mean, it depends what crowd you're in, obviously, but I think universities try and put across a lot more events for non-drinkers now, and people who just don't feel like going out clubbing.
Definitely.
So I think as much as there might be a bit of an expectation for people to go out drinking and to kind of get involved with that sort of side of it, I think it's not as important. And I don't think anyone should let it, define their experience.
And don't be afraid to say no. You know, if you don't want to go somewhere, say like, I don't want to go, and there'll probably be someone else who doesn't want to go.
And it's not even that. It's like, I had a massive big FOMO, like fear of missing out of everything, because I was like, well, if I don't go out to this club on this night, then the people in this group are going to get closer, and then I might not be friends with them. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. The amount of times that, like, in first year, my group of friends would be going to Union, and I just didn't feel like it. I'm like, I really feel like going home for the weekend. Like, I'm just not feeling 100%. So I was like, no, I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna go, and it'll be absolutely fine. It didn't make a difference. I might miss a funny story, but they would just tell me about it the next day. So you don't feel like you're gonna miss out, because you'll find something for your own group and all that. I don't know where I was going with that point. It's called a student ramble for a reason, guys.
Yeah, I think it's just like important to remember that, like, drinking isn't the be all and end all at uni. Like I said, it was definitely something I was worried about, because the narrative around going to uni, so much of it is about drinking. But I would say, like, if that's something you're worried about, try it not to be. And I know that's easier said than done, because I was there, I relate. But once you get there, you will find people. They might not necessarily be in your flat, they might be on your course or in a society you join. But once you find people who you can trust and that aren't going to press you to drink or do something you don't want to do, you'll be fine. You'll be great. You'll have the best time.
And I think a lot of universities now have societies specifically for people who don't drink. So if that's something which is, it's a very, very big value to you, just join it. At the end of the day, if you join that society and you think, what, this isn't really my group of people, that's fine. You don't have to, the first people you meet, you don't have to be best friends, lifelong friends with them. You don't even have to get along with everyone in your flat, like, or everyone on your course. It doesn't matter, because, you will find at least someone who you get along with.
Yeah.
There's loads of ways to meet people at university. I think now Bumble have like a finding
one.
Finding friends.
Yeah.
There's loads of things you can do. Even like, I think you can join. So in societies, I think, so for example, sports societies, you can join them for the sport, but you can also join them just as someone who enjoys watching it, for example. So you could join a hockey society, but you could also join the hockey society as like a spectator. So you would go to like all the socials and everything, but you wouldn't actually play hockey. So like that's an option as well. If, for example, if you like a sport but you don't want to do it. So there's loads of options.
There is something out there for everyone.
Yeah. So like, so for you lot, so when we're allowed back out, is there anything that you're going to do differently in terms of, is there anything that you kind of want for going out, or, different sort of experiences or events? Are there anything that you want to see,
I think,
post-lockdown? Or post-COVID?
With the start of second year, we had started doing a bit more. Like we said, we'd started going to quiz nights and just trying different things, and I joined a few societies because I didn't join any last year. And so I think once my confidence had grown, by the start of second year, I was definitely like, I want to try a few more things, and I think that will definitely continue after lockdown, because ultimately, like, I've got 1 year left at uni after this, and so I want to make the best of it, even if that's not drinking. So like, after freshers, you can still meet people, like there isn't a cut-off point. So yeah,
I guess for me, I, like, me and me in the same boat, like we were both kind of pushing ourselves a little bit more to try and do something else. I don't think there's anything particular that I want to do after lockdown. But I know I want to get back to, you know, like going out for a cocktail with my friends, or, you know, I miss going out and just like sitting down in a pub and like wasting 5 hours of my day.
Yeah. So
What
for
about
me,
you, Leah?
I think it's more wanting to just get out and see people I haven't seen in months, and whether that be through drinking or not. You know, one of my friends I haven't seen in months, and we've been to like the comedy nights at the university, which are hosted by Comedy Central, and they are so fun. And we don't drink during those, they're just like during the week we just go and have a laugh. And I think I just really want to make the most of the time that we've got left at uni, because, you know, we've had a rough deal. We've had 2 years. We've like the 2 years that we've been here so far, they've both been not normal.
Interesting.
You know.
Yeah, they've not been your
we'll go with
typical
interesting.
uni year. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've made the most of it. And I think I've had a better experience with sort of the social side of uni in second year compared to first year. And I think that's something which I think that's the thing which a lot of people put so much pressure on, is how much fun, you know. I think a lot of lecturers assume that, you know, first year is where you have loads of fun, and then second year is when you crack down on your work, and to an extent that's true, but I think first year for me is about generally finding the people that you really like hanging out with, and then second year is about really like going for it and just kind of strengthening those bonds that you've got with those people.
Yeah,
like, you know,
I would say
first year you're just trying to find out who you are as an individual, because you know, for a lot of people it's the first time living on their own or being away from, you know, the person that they would have created, you know, in their family home or in previous friendship groups. So you kind of get to redefine yourself at uni. So it's about, you know, just going for it, you know. So yeah, I think we'll call it a day for today. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to check us out on Instagram, The Student Ramble. If you're listening to this on YouTube, we're also on Spotify. If you're listening to this on Spotify, we're also on YouTube. And yeah, our episodes will be every other week, we hope. We hope. You know, university is a bit crazy at the moment. So yeah, thank you very much for listening. And we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.